Hello, everyone. It's the bipolar lesbian here, and I know it's been an awfully long time since I've uploaded content of any kind. However, there has been a reason behind that. Uh, Significant. Um, One is the mental illness aspect. I was having a very hard time coping with everyday functions and things like that, so it was just medication was not working, had to switch so many times, had to go to the hospital again, just all that fun stuff. Everyone out there who's lived with this can understand that. um, but the good news is, in recent times I have pulled myself together pretty well and am doing solid for a good almost 3 months, which is like amazing for me. And I keep waiting for that down spiral that's going to happen or something, even on the medication. I know that's happened before and can happen, and so it's constantly in the back of my mind that I might slip and this is all going to be gone. This sense of cliche sounding, but almost like an enlightenment that I've had, and that is actually the reason for this video today, because the reason I wanted to make this is to discuss a very important topic within the community, that the LGBT community, that I do not think is discussed nearly enough, and that is domestic violence. My girlfriend was a wonderful person. She was kind to me. She was sweet and caring, and from our first date onwards, she would pay for everything for me. She would buy my dinners. She would take me shopping. I hated that because I don't like spending other people's money. It just feels wrong to me. It's like, I don't know, I feel like a spoiled brat. I mean, it's nice to be treated, but I mean, the concept of actually having like a sugar daddy or mommy or something would not go over well with me. But anyway, so point was, she would do all these wonderful, nice things to me in the beginning. And then it slowly changed. Suddenly, I was being insulted on a daily basis, emotionally, neglected. Not neglected, because I mean, I'm not her plant that she forgot to water, but more so that she didn't really care that she made fun of how I have had my life turn out so far. I'm trying to fix it. I've set in motion lots of things to help myself, and it's really hard. It's very, very hard to do these things on your own and try to maintain social relationships, emotional relationships, physical ones, dealing with friends and family and all this sort of shit. It's just, it gets to be overwhelming, and that's for the regular person. So when you have a mental illness, especially when it's untreated or incorrectly treated, it tends to be exacerbated tenfold, because a lot of us don't have healthy coping mechanisms or anything like that. Anyway, rambling, as I usually do. So the point was, my girlfriend, she was very sweet, very nice and kind, but then she started with the negative comments. Like, I would talk about maybe wanting to get my hair done, not her buying for me. I'm not saying like I was asking her for this or something. It was just things that I would bring up in conversation. Everything I brought up was stupid or irrelevant, or she would point out how I was wrong and just a child. She was 6 months older than me, I believe, and she treated me like I was an absolute imbecile. Imbecile. Jesus Christ, that proved her point, apparently. But it went from that to, you're spending too much time with your family. You're talking to a gay male friend too much. And she's worried about it because we like to hang out together. And did I mention he's gay and she's my girlfriend? So that was always a stupid argument, but once again, it was all these things. It was much easier for me to just say, fuck it, I'll listen to what she's saying so we don't get into an argument, so we don't fight and have a shitty time. So I just listened to her. I'd stop talking to people. I did stop talking to people. I even deleted my Facebook at one point because she just kept harassing me over everything. And then it got physical. We were in my room one night, and we were both sitting on my bed, and I can't even remember what I said, but I know I said she was complaining about work, and I said something sarcastic back to her relating to her field, because it's to be expected in her line of work, what was happening. And she reacted by slapping me across the face. I really didn't know how to react to that, because I am a big victim's advocate. I've helped friends escape abusive relationships. I've had people come to terms with leaving a relationship simply because of emotional abuse, let alone physical abuse. So when it happened to me, I kind of feel like a hypocrite or a fraud or something, but I didn't really know how to react. I asked her, I said, I kind of looked at her, and she's like, I was like, you hit me, and she's like, I didn't mean to hit you that hard. And that was the first time. Then it got worse, because my face is visible, my neck is always usually pretty visible. I live in Phoenix. Even in the winter it sucks, but right now it's, 111 degrees out, and I sweat my ass off because it's fucking miserable. So I wear tank tops a lot, so she learned that she could hit me in my back or my stomach or things like that, and just anytime I made her, she would pinch me. If we were she couldn't hit me around people. She didn't want to make it obvious that she wouldn't hesitate to chastise me about something around friends. And the physical part even manifested itself in front of people, but I don't know if they noticed. But she would do things like, I would say something and she didn't like what I was saying or something like that, and she would pinch me, or punch me in the thigh or something like that, just kind of like a be quiet, pinch or something like that. She just became very aggressive, and it made more sense why her previous relationship failed, that she would always tell me about, and how horrible this person was to her, and how would treat her badly and stuff like that. But I heard nothing but negatives, manipulative statements from her regarding him and the things that she would make him do and stuff like that. she would make fun of him to me sexually, as in describing what it was like with him and telling me about his, you know, member and things like that. I can say the word penis, I don't know why I hesitated. This is not a G-rated channel. But anyway, but it makes more sense now what she did to me, to understand why she and her ex probably broke up. So it just makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you can kind of see that. I know it's horrible, and there's a big gap there, and that is because one day we had gone out to a bar, and I went outside for a cigarette, which I'm having right now. It was a gay bar, and since I was outside by myself because she had stayed inside, this woman came up to me and asked if I wanted another drink, and was hitting on me and stuff like that, and I was telling her, no, I'm with somebody, blah, blah, blah. Well, my girlfriend, my ex, chose this time to walk out of the main bar area into the smoking patio area and saw us talking back and forth to each other. And the girl eventually went away because I told her, I'm with somebody, I'm here, blah, 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 I don't need a refill, I'm good. But my girlfriend really didn't care. She just accused me of being a whore and a liar and a cheater, and I would have fucked that woman if I could have, and I would have let her do whatever I wanted because I was such a fucking slut, bitch, all names under the sun that she could think of throwing at me was fair game to her. And I was obviously getting upset, which I think is understandable after sitting there being berated for 10 minutes straight. So I went and left the bar, and she followed after me, and we started arguing with each other, and she pulled me down into the alleyway and kept screaming at me, and I kept trying to pull away and get away from her, but she was 6 foot tall and probably about 300 pounds. She was a big girl. So she was a lot bigger than me. I'm 5'3", barely. I know I'm a little chunkier, but I am very easily pushed around. So she was able to grab me in the middle of the fight when I was walking away and tell me that I only leave when she tells me to. And then she shoved me, and I tripped, and I smashed my face into the wall, and it cracked that tooth completely, and it fell out. So because of her, I'm now missing a tooth, which is embarrassing as hell because I feel like a fucking hillbilly, and I can't afford to get it fixed. My credit's fucked because I let just shit happens. That's a little much. I won't say what happened there, but yeah, no, that's what happened with her, and I just never told anybody because I felt like I deserved it in the moment because of the mental illness being so strong, the depression aspect. At the time, I really didn't care. I just decided that I deserved it, and nobody else would want me anyway, so put up with it, you know what I mean? But as it turns out, there are a lot of people who are supporting me. After we got into a fight, and she actually was the one to say things should end with me, which I was very glad about. it was kind of like she's moving. That was the biggest reason. But a few days later, I get this text message from an anonymous number that I've, not anonymous, but it was unknown. I didn't know who it was. And they asked me if I was with so-and-so, and I told them, yeah, we were, and she goes, just to make sure I was the right person, and she said that my ex was now talking shit about me behind my back like we're teenagers again, even though we're in our mid-20s and are professionals, or at least adults. Not professional for her, I guess. But she was saying these awful things about me, and just completely, like, psychotic, messed up things, like, easily disprovable, that I've tried to slit my wrists multiple times, and I told her that if she ever left, I'd kill myself. There's nothing but tattoos there, and if you do see one scratch, it's because I broke up a cat fight as a kid like an idiot, and the cat grabbed onto me and bit and scratched the fuck out of me. So I do have one nice line that it looks like I cut myself, but it's one scratch. So things like that. And then she was apparently making fun of me for my sexual assault that happened when I was a child. And so people were becoming disgusted, even in our own social group, and they were reaching out to tell me this. And which is, I guess, that was the enlightenment part. The fact that I was so timid and careful and everything like that, and still everything went to hell and nothing was right. So I just couldn't take it anymore. So I've kind of snapped. I don't know if this is a mental breakdown, but it's in a good way. I've been consistent about things and doing better, getting passions back for my writing and things like that. And I can owe it all to my girlfriend beating the shit out of me on a regular basis. Interesting how life turns out to be sometimes. So, yeah, basically, the next video I upload is going to be discussing in depth on LGBT domestic violence, because there is not enough support or counseling or people out there that you can go to get help with this. It's very isolating, and because it's another woman, they don't expect anything more than, cat fight, slap slap. No, it's not that. Like I said, she was 6 foot tall and 300 pounds. She was a big girl. She was very large and could hurt me very badly when she wanted to. So, just moral of the story is, if somebody is weird from the get-go, trust your gut and don't fall into years of relationship where somebody is hurting you. Because after a while, people stop believing that you have run into doors that many times or fallen. They start asking, oh, wow, you fall a lot, or you're clumsy, aren't you? That kind of thing. It's hard to explain. And yeah, it's just not fun. And I didn't do anything about it, which I feel bad about, but at the same time, I at least can maintain myself and say I don't deserve that, which has taken a lot for me to be able to accept. So yeah, that's it on my wonderful affair with domestic violence, which is unfortunately not the first time this has happened to me either. I guess I'm kind of a magnet or punching bag or something. No, I joke, but it's not funny. But I put up with it, and hopefully now that my medication is a little more regulated and I feel a little better and I'm getting my self-esteem boosted a little higher every day by doing something more, that I won't fall into this again. I can get somebody who respects me and treats me as an equal and doesn't patronize me or criticize me unconstructively or hit me. I don't think that's too much to ask. But, what is it? C'est la vie? So, anyway, thank you for watching. Like I said, this has been the Bipolar Lesbian. This was one long ramble on what's been going on with me and why I haven't uploaded videos. I will be uploading more frequently because I have time now. Yay, quarantine, even though it's ending a lot and I could have done this sooner, but whatever. But yeah, so next time I'm going to discuss specific statistics regarding LGBT domestic violence. So look forward to that coming out. Thank you all for listening, and love you all.